beset a person suffering from this order. We are pleased to introduce on the show this morning mother and son duo Farhana and Irfan Rajah. Irfan is 19 years old and he suffers from this disorder. But I'm also pleased to let you know that Alhamdulillah, this family has worked hard. They've almost turned the situation around, and Irfan is a very independent, productive young man. Let's welcome them to the show and let both Farhana and Irfan share their story with us. Assalamu alaikum, Farhana and Irfan Rajah. Welcome to the program. Shukran for your time.
Walaikum salam. Jazakallah for having us. My son is actually Irfan Gensh. Rajah is my maiden surname.
Okay, all right.
He is Irfan Gensh.
All right. Farhana, you have an amazing success story. I'm on the same women's group as you are in the area we live in. And a couple of months ago, maybe even longer, you posted on our group and you shared a bit of your story, Irfan's story, with us, suggesting that he suffers from the spectrum autism. But the great news is that you also said that Irfan has a gift of baking, and you posted pictures of the most amazing baked goods, and he's now started up his own business. Tell us how this all came to pass.
Okay. It all happened during the lockdown. The lockdown has been a great blessing for us. It gave us time to slow down and to reflect and to actually have time to spend together as a family. During that time, we didn't send Irfan back to school because of the pandemic. And he took an interest in baking and in making desserts. And he wanted me to teach him some things. And it all started with, him wanting to learn how to make tiramisu. And as I was observing him, I noticed that, he's very skilled and he's actually quite good at it. And, I just thought, why not try to make this into a business for him so he can, inshallah, then sustain himself in the future.
Inshallah, Ameen. Alhamdulillah, what a beautiful story. So that many months down the line, almost 2 years, and I've seen pictures of all the stuff that he's turned out. Is he very keen and eager all of the time to be busy doing his baking?
Yes, he is. He's actually quite a slave driver. Always tell me, come, let's do something. Every day he wants to try something new. He always has new ideas. He wants to try new recipes. So alhamdulillah, he is very keen.
And when it happens to all of us, when he bakes something and it flops, for example, does it frustrate him terribly? How do you help him get over the frustration?
Okay, when there are flops, we use it as a learning curve. Shukr, alhamdulillah, he hasn't reacted badly to such situations, and we just try to learn from our mistakes, and we try to perfect our recipes before we actually introduce it to the public. So we always make things first, we taste it as a family, and when we're happy with it, that's when we'll advertise it.
And the business is growing steadily but surely, alhamdulillah for that. How old was Irfan when you realized that there is a possible problem here? And what were the steps you went through to get him assessed and realize what the problem is and try and get him the necessary help and get him into the right type of school environment?
Okay. As a baby, when Irfan was becoming a toddler, when he was entering 1 year old, the age of 1 year, we noticed, or actually a neighbor noticed that, why isn't he saying any words at this stage? You should be saying quite a few words. Being a first-time mother, I had no experience about this. And, we always thought, maybe he's a late bloomer, he will eventually speak. But when things were, not happening on the verbal side, we then took him to a pediatrician who then referred us to a specialist. And it was only at 4 years old when he got diagnosed with the condition of autism. At that stage, we didn't know even know what autism was, and it was a very scary journey. But Alhamdulillah, we had a brilliant doctor, the late Professor Lorna Jacqueline, and she's the one that introduced Irfan to the school, Johannesburg School for Autism. Uh, she was one of the trustees of that school, and Shukr Alhamdulillah, the school really helped him. When he entered the school, his vocabulary was maybe between 30 to 50 words at 4.5 years. And today, Alhamdulillah, he can speak, totally fine. He communicates well. And the school has really helped him. He's been there until the age of 17, eh? Yes, until 17. So most of his life he spent at the school, and shukr, we are so grateful that, Allah Ta'ala, put us in the position where we could meet the right people and get the correct help for him. But it did involve, he needed a lot of therapy, a lot of early intervention, and that's the reason, he developed, Alhamdulillah, so well.
When you sent out your latest communication on our group, and we've tried to circulate it as widely as possible, it's about creating awareness of the condition, but also to ask people to support the School of Autism, and try and make a meaningful difference, because clearly there are not enough facilities to provide and cater for other children who suffer from this spectrum of disorders. Tell us more about your this drive where you're wanting to raise money, or anything possible that can help the school and other children in this situation.
Unfortunately, in our country, there aren't many facilities for kids who are on the spectrum, compared to countries in Europe and in America. So although it's such an old condition, people are only learning more about autism probably in the last decade or two. And we definitely need more facilities. There aren't enough schools. And most of the kids that are on the spectrum, they are from very poor backgrounds. Their families cannot afford to send them to some of the schools, which are very expensive. In Irfan's school in particular, they do allow kids who cannot afford to pay the fees to still be in the school, and then their fees are covered, via donations. But due to the pandemic, what actually started this drive is most of the kids, their parents have either lost their jobs, or they took a salary cut, and those kids are really, really struggling. They don't have enough food to eat. Sometimes they come to school without having any breakfast, or for the weekend there's no food at home, and that's actually what started this drive. The social worker at the school, Nabila Khan, brought to my attention how urgent the situation is at the school. And, we felt that, we have to bring this to the attention of the public so they can get as much support as possible, not only in Irfan school, but I'm sure many other schools where there are special needs kids, or kids who are struggling financially.
Let's just talk very quickly about people who are wanting to make a donation to the school or to any other such school. Whom do they contact? Can we give them your details if they call us? Or what is the name of the school? What is the name of the school that Irfan attended?
The school is called the Johannesburg School for Autism. It's in Parktown in the TMI building. They can contact the social worker. Her name is Nabila Khan. I can give you her contact details.
Now, not to worry about that. We will just pass on the school's details. How does Irfan feel about his situation? Does he ever question you about it? And do you have anything to say on the show this morning, Irfan?
Yes, I have anything to say. But I started a small business by 2021 when I was 18 years old on the February 2021. I bake and sell desserts. I made crunchies, chocolate crunchies, chocolate crunchies, rusks, sunflower
Oh,
seed rusks,
wow.
oat rusks, and chocolate nut rusks, nests, baklava nest, caramel nest,
Mm.
and peppermint crisp dessert, tiramisu, and other variable options of desserts that I make, and more.
Wow. I'm coming over for coffee and a taste of all your amazing desserts, okay?
Okay,
No
you can, no
problem. You're most
problem.
welcome.
And
Inshallah.
we also wanted to
Amen.
make new desserts like mava pudding and brownies,
Mhm.
including the Ravani Turkish dessert and also other desserts.
Alhamdulillah.
Like,
Farhana, you must really and truly make shukr, alhamdulillah, because you have an outlet, with for Irfan. He will be, inshallah, able to sustain himself going forward. And we do know that autism is a spectrum disorder. What are the challenges that Irfan faces, and how do you cope with it? Because I should imagine from time to time it must be very exhausting for you and the family.
Okay, the main challenge now is communication wise, we don't have a problem. He communicates beautifully. He gets along with people very well. He has very good social skills. The only thing that worries us a lot is, when he goes out in public, when he's on his own, that um, people will tend to take advantage of his condition. And that is our biggest fear. So he's not, at the moment, he's not yet able to distinguish, who is sincere and who is not. So we're hoping, inshallah, that will also develop with time. But he will always need someone next to him to guide him and to show him the way.
Okay, what what is the advice you'd like to give to other parents with children with this condition? And we do know that it differs from child to child. What would be your advice to them?
Okay. Please get your diagnosis as soon as possible. Go and see a specialist. Early intervention is key. Before the age of 6, start your speech therapy, start your occupational therapy, if necessary, start your physiotherapy as much as possible. Up to 3 times a week speech therapy, 2 times a week occupational therapy. This is, it's so vital to get that in before they reach 6 years old. So they have a foundation, and when they do start schooling, it's much easier. And then they can also enter remedial school. If there's no intervention, then it's difficult for a child to enter a remedial school. Then they have to go to a special needs school where very little can be done at that stage. But the hope is not lost, because these special needs schools, they do know how to develop the child and bring them up to speed. Although it might take a bit longer.
Okay, Irfan, what else you want to tell us this morning? Did you enjoy school?
yeah, I enjoyed long ago.
Okay, but now you're very busy with your making of your amazing desserts. We've seen a
Yeah,
picture just now. Uh,
sometimes I
yes, carry on.
sometimes I bake desserts. Not recently,
Yes.
and
Okay.
also
Yes.
and
How can
also
people order desserts from you? Do you have an Instagram account? How do we get in touch with you and look at all the amazing pictures of the
I'm
desserts
on
that you've
Facebook,
made?
Instagram, maybe
Okay.
WhatsApp.
Okay,
All
he's on
right.
Facebook as Irfan's underscore
It's
delights,
called
and
Irfan's Delights.
Irfan's delights on Facebook, on Instagram also as Irfan's delights. And to order the WhatsApp details are on both Instagram and Facebook. They can WhatsApp us for orders.
All right, Irfan's Delights. And finally, just remind us once again the name of the school that Irfan attended and the name of the social worker there. So if people are wanting to make, inshallah, meaningful contribution, they can get in touch with her directly.
Okay. The name of the school is called the Johannesburg School for Autism. The social worker's name is Nabila Khan. There is a poster which I've sent out to the groups. It does have the details of the school as well as the banking details and also Nabila's contact details.
Farhana, you are an amazing mother with an amazing child, Irfan. We truly, truly make dua that you continue this amazing journey, and undoubtedly that Irfan's business just grows from strength to strength. Thank you for being on the show this morning, and salam to you, Irfan.
Alaikum salam. Jazakallah so much for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
My pleasure entirely. Assalamu alaikum, and keep us in your duas as well.
Okay.
Farhana and Irfan, mother and son duo talking to us about obviously the challenges they faced and how it's turned around. Farhana has helped her son establish his own business called Irfan's Delights. They're based here in Johannesburg, but by way of this program, they're also highlighting the plight of children with disabilities and particularly children with autism, and are asking each and every one of you tuned in this morning to try and make a meaningful difference and contribution to the school. And let's support Irfan by buying goodies from him, Irfan's Delights. 8:25 exactly, news and views right here on Salam Media, and lots coming your way. Please become a part of the conversation. Our WhatsApp line is 0617660355. Alternatively, you can connect with us via any one of our social media platforms.